going on, Tiger fans? I need to start out by apologizing once again. I've been doing this a lot lately for not making my video before the series started. I know my videos do not get many views. I know I don't have that many subscribers, but I still like to make it a point because this is a commitment I've done for the last almost going on 3 years to get my stuff out on time before it comes. But I've been working so goddamn much, and luckily, my hours only affect the Tigers games a couple days a week. Only a couple day games I only have to listen to on the radio. But I'm usually home by 5 o'clock every other day, so I still get to watch just about every single game during the week. But it's been a bit of a tedious task trying to get on here and make all these videos. But like I said, I know they don't get many views, but I do like to be on time with these things. So they did play the Astros last night, but I will save that game for when I do the Astros preview or thoughts video. The Indians came into town, and the Tigers bats, towards the last few games of the road trip with the Nationals started to go cold a little bit. And, coming home, they hoped, the bats would wake up a little bit, which they always do, because the Tigers offense, like I've said numerous times, they play so much better at home. They like the home lights. And game one was an absolute laugher. Tigers destroyed the Indians 10-4. Prince Fielder had a dinger. Miggy had a dinger. Andy Dirks had a dinger. It was just home run galore. And here in Michigan, we have this thing to where if there's 3 home runs hit in a ball game by the Tigers, there's curly fries. And Arby's, I think, has to be sick of giving out free curly fries because I can't remember since this whole thing started with the curly fries BS. I can't remember a year where there's been more 3 home run games by the Tigers than this year. I mean, there's been a lot of 3 home run games. And it was just an absolute freaking laugher. Max Scherzer, he pitched 8 innings in this game. He did give up 4 earned runs, but he struck out 7. It was kind of a weird game for him because he only allowed 5 base runners, but 4 of them scored. He didn't get out of his jams, but still he went 8 innings, and he probably could have went 9 because they only had 101 pitches coming out in the 8th, and it was kind of a weird game for someone to give up 4 runs to have his pitch count that much in check. And but Scherzer's, he's been just pitching great all season. Honestly, I think he's pitched the most innings on our staff because that's 2 straight starts in a row for him going 8 innings. Last time out against Houston in that 17-2 laugher, he went 8 innings, and that's another thing. Scherzer, man, he gets a bunch of run support. His ERA is still way under 4, but that guy gets more run support than anyone on the staff. I think he gets like 8.15 runs a game was his average this year. So, game 2, Justin Verlander pitched, and it wasn't JV's best start this year, man. And there's a lot of people, a lot of scrutiny surrounding Verlander right now, whether it's Sports Talk Radio, people on my Facebook page, on this Tigers group I go on to, and I don't get where all this is coming from. People keep throwing out this BS thing where he's a $200 million pitcher now, and he's got this huge contract. He shouldn't have games like this. It doesn't work like that in baseball. Verlander's velocity this year, like I've said, he hasn't hit really higher than 96 on the gun. He's been anywhere from 89 to 94 almost the whole game. He was pretty much 92 to 94 this game against the Indians. But he in the early goings, he just did not have a second pitch. He was just trying to throw straight fastballs every time. He wasn't commanding his curve, he wasn't commanding his slider, he wasn't commanding his change. He was visibly struggling on the mound with his command. He stepped off the mound at least 7 times in the first inning to take time, and hitters were taking time off him a lot too. And the umpire was great. I never saw time called that much in 1 inning, and he was visibly struggling with his command. And he ended up walking 5, but he only gave up 3 earned runs in the 5 innings he pitched, which shows you really still how good he is. He had an awful start where he walks 5. That's a lot of base runners. Yet he only gives up 3 earned runs. And people I'll be getting into arguments with. This one guy, he keeps talking about Rick Porcello and how he should still be in the rotation and Smiley shouldn't be in there. He's like, look at Justin Verlander and his struggles. Rick Porcello has been out pitching him. It's like, yeah, but I don't get how you can use Rick Porcello should be in the rotation, but use Justin Verlander's struggles to your advantage. It doesn't even make sense in this argument. It's like Rick Porcello. You want to talk about struggles? The fucking guy gave up 9 runs in the first inning one time already this year, and his ERA is still over 6. So I don't get that. But yeah, Verlander, in the last couple innings, he really started to sort it out a little bit. He started to get locked in. Started throwing that really nice tight curveball for his strikes. He finally got his changeup command, and his fastball looked better. He hit 96. I saw only one time in this game, but there's nothing to be worried about with Verlander yet. I was doing some research on this thing called a Pitch FX tool, and I was looking at it, and these are really in-depth stats. But on his fastball, last year, the amount of foul tips he got on his fastball through the whole year was at like 15.33%. And the whiff percent was at 20%. The amount they whiffed on his fastball. And this was like all his curve, change, slider, they're all right about the same percentage. And this year, the foul percent is up to like 20% on his fastball, and the whiff percentage is down to like 16. And it's about the same range for all of his pitches. And that's what's up with Verlander this year. You could say it's because his velocity's down a little bit, whatever. But I think it's truly because he hasn't found his stuff yet this year. I don't care if his velocity's down a little bit. He's still got an ERA sub 2. You give him up having a really bad start like that. His ERA is still sub 2. And he's still pitching well. It's just he hasn't gone as many innings because guys are fouling off his stuff more and not whiffing as much and working his pitch counts higher than they were years prior when they were missing more and not straight whiffing his stuff as much, and he was getting quicker, easier outs. I think once it heats up a little bit, and Verlander truly gets in his groove, because he's not really in his groove right now. I think he's only had one start where he's pitched 7 innings. Truly gets in his groove, he'll be all right, and the velocity will come back, and those numbers will come back down to earth to where they were last year. Because that's exactly what it is. Numbers show it. Guys are striking out or hitting more of his stuff this year than whiffing on it and working up his pitch counts. That's exactly what it is with Verlander. And you could say his lower velocity attributes to it, but even with a lower velocity, why is his changeup, curve, and slider all still getting whiffed, not getting whiffed at as much, more getting fouled off more? It's I think he truly hasn't found his pitching groove yet, which is a scary thing considering he's got an ERA sub 2. So game 3, we're gonna just fast forward to the 9th inning in this game. Valverde came out with a 1-run lead. Rick Porcello pitched really damn good this game, and it was looking like it was gonna be a 3-2 win. But Valverde, he had his first rough outing of the year. And this is another thing. People want to sit here and chastise Jose Valverde. There was the biggest scrutiny when Dombrowski brought him back, And people were just looking for Valverde to do bad so they can sit there and go, point the finger at you, go, I told you so, I told you so. But here's the thing. Valverde nearly got out of the inning. He had 2 outs, and he had a guy, Michael Bourne at second. I forget who was at first. And Michael Brantley, who puts the ball in play a lot, hits a single to get Bourne in. And too bad Cabrera doesn't have more range because he could probably knock down that ball and keep Bourne from scoring. And but people are sitting there trying to chastise him. Like, look, I knew he was gonna blow a save. He sucks. He sucks. If you look, like I've said this a million times, Valverde almost 80% of the time, not 85% of the time, gets the job done. I think he's like 113 for 121. That's like updated stats for save chances and opportunities. And Tigers, as a Tiger, he gets the job done almost 85% of the time, and stuff like that happens. Now, what I am scared at, I use those numbers, but a lot of those numbers are from past success when he was a better pitcher. When he came over to the Tigers, he was throwing 96, 97, and even 98, especially in 2011. He was throwing 98. He had that real good two-seam fastball. And when he first came over, he had that good split. But, now he's just a one-pitch pitcher. And this is what I'm scared about with Valverde. Like I said, I still think he can get the job done. But he's a one-pitch pitcher. And throwing 92 to 95 and just throwing straight four-seam fastballs, it's not going to last much longer before, these easy innings, because he had a lot of, his first 2 saves was 1, 2, 3 inning saves. When you start seeing more games like he had or the other day when he blew that save because of just throwing nothing but four-seam fastballs. And, 92, 95, not much movement. It's just guys going to keep doing what happened, and he's got to make something in. He's got to make something in. I still think he can get the job done, but it's going to be a roller coaster a lot more than even last year because he's got to mix in that split. He's got to do something to get something done, to keep these guys off balance. Because right there, 92, 95, and you make a mistake with that, and how straight and flat it is, those are BP fastballs. I'm sorry. I defend Valverde, wholeheartedly, and I still stand behind him as he's going to get the job done as closer. But you cannot go out there and just throw one pitch unless you're Mariano Rivera. But his pitch breaks a lot. His cutter, that thing moves crazy good. It's like Fernando Rodney's changeup. Even though he's got a hard fastball, but it's Rodney's changeup. That thing is like swing 3 times and it's still not at the plate good. You could tell him it's coming. But like Rivera's cutter, but Valverde's fastball. If he doesn't do something, add in another pitch, it's going to get scary on that mound. For now, I think he's fine, but eventually down the road, towards the middle of the season, he's going to have to do something. So, like I said, guys, sorry for the lateness of this video. Sorry for making this an 11-minute video, but what are you going to do? I like talking about the Tigers. So, have a good one, everybody. Game 2 of the Astros series tonight, and I will have that video done on time. Have a good one, guys. Go Tigers.